Now, Cory had already quit the Liberal Party to form his Australian Conservatives Party. Now, that failed, as you know, but your One Nation, on the other hand, is soaring in the polls. Why are you succeeding where Cory failed?
You've got to look at over a period of time, Andrew. It's next month, actually in 1 month's time, 30 years ago, I was first elected to the Parliament, 1996. It's been over a long period of time to build up that trust and belief from the public. A lot of things that I said then, my speeches, people said, if only we had listened to her then. People are experiencing it now, whether it's the cost of living or not owning their own home, where the country's going, industries, manufacturing being lost, the woke agenda that's been forced on us, the educational levels, everything. Andrew, I can go on. It's a number of things. People really realise the hurt and pain, and it's taken me 3 decades to gain that trust and confidence from the Australian people.
Have you also talked to Alex Antic, the Liberal senator also in South Australia? He'd be perfect for you and would give you immediately another Senate seat as well. Any interest there?
No, I haven't spoken to Alex Antic, and I agree with you. Alex is another person that I see sheer frustration with the coalition, especially the Liberal Party that he is a part of, in not representing, the Australian people. I get on very well with Alex. Have I approached him? No, I haven't. That's something that these people must consider for themselves. Is One Nation a good fit for them? As Barnaby said, I never force my hand on anyone. I give them time to think about it. But also, Andrew, I'll make it quite clear. I'm not going to just take anyone from political parties that see that, the ship's sinking, we must jump over. I'm going to look at their performance, what they've stood for, what they represent. Are they hard workers? Are they there for the right reasons? I don't want career politicians. And if I'm going to build this party into a party that will eventually be government either in the state or the federal arena, then I want the right people on board and the right message I'm sending out to the Australian people.
Well, you've said a few times there again that you want the One Nation to be a party of government. It cannot be a party of government without a leader in the lower house. You're in the Senate. Are you thinking of running in a lower house seat?
I have options which I can look at over the next couple of years. But Andrew, it doesn't necessarily have to be me. My sights aren't been, purely because to be Prime Minister, I haven't got an ego that big. My aim is to get what's right for the country. And if it's not me, then I'll ensure that we do have the right person to fill that position. Am I saying One Nation can be government at the next election? I don't know. That's up to the people of Australia where they cast their vote. But I know that if I don't set my sights on being government one day, why would the people put their trust and faith in voting for us? I have to have confidence and faith in myself and what I'm delivering in policies for the Australian people first and foremost. So don't say, remember that it was John Gorton that was in the Senate for a while who was Prime Minister of the country. There's nothing in our Constitution that says that the Prime Minister must come from the lower house. So it's all new. This is something totally new. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, but
unless
Gorton
someone wants to tell me totally different.
Gorton did quit the Senate.
Correct.
Gorton did quit the Senate to move into the lower house. But if it's not going to be you that would be Prime Minister of a One Nation government, who would it be? I mean, Barnaby's were thinking of running in the Senate as well.
Andrew, we're 2 years outside the election. I can't tell you that. This is a juggernaut that's happening at the moment, the rise of One Nation, the support that we're getting. This is something that's just happening, and I will go along with it, and we will have our plans and where we're going to go and who's going to fill these positions. But I can tell you, I do have the nous. I do have the ability to drive this. I've been around in politics for the last 3 decades. Barnaby's been around for a little bit less than that. And we do have people coming on board with experience and knowledge. Don't underestimate myself or the people that I'm collecting along the way to represent the Australian people. You know, all your government departments, everyone's still there. All you need are the people to direct them and change the policies to ensure prosperity for our nation. And that's what I'm going to deliver.
Pauline Hanson, meanwhile, look, your juggernaut is just going like, I've never seen anything like it, from nowhere, well, almost nowhere to very much somewhere. You're destroying the Liberals and Nationals. They're now desperately trying to join again in a coalition because they know they're being destroyed by you. Do you think that's going to save them from One Nation if they did manage to get together again?
Let me make it quite clear. I'm not destroying them. They are destroying themselves. Since the last election, people have been screaming out to reduce mass migration. Where's the Liberal Party policy? Even with climate change, they couldn't get out and, they say, well, they'll get out of net zero, but they're not getting out of the Paris Agreement. It's all the double speak. People don't trust them anymore. Have a look at the leadership. But that's their issue, not mine. And if I can deliver people a clear option with policies, how to reduce our debt, how to cut back government spending, how to actually give people, the ability to own their own homes, stop foreign investment of our housing, our land, our farms, to represent the Australian people, fly the flag with pride, address our education, get rid of the wokeness that you can be a male and you are a female or you are a male, only two sexes. I'm clear and divisive in what I want for this country. So don't say that I'm destroying them. They've destroyed themselves with all the woke agenda that they've had. But people, even the Labor side, they're coming up to me now and they're saying, we've voted Labor, always have done, but now we're voting One Nation.
You mentioned cutting spending. I mean, spending is out of control. You've seen what's happening with inflation because the government's spending too much. Business leaders are crying for less spending from the government. What would be the three things you'd most like to take an axe to in government spending?
The climate change department, which is costing about $30 billion a year. Then you've actually got the Aboriginal industries, another 30 to 40 billion a year. Treat everyone equally on an individual needs basis without the funding going to it. And NDIS needs a broom through it, a big broom, to stop the rorting and what's happening. That's at the moment, it's about 55 billion a year, expected to grow to 100 billion a year by 2030. These are just starts. Look at your government employees. 80% of new jobs in Australia is coming from government employment jobs. We've got the biggest blown out number of public servants than any country in the world for the population that we have. Andrew, there's so many things we can put a broom through. Look at your social security system, 300 billion a year. That needs a clean up. People have been on the welfare for 20, 30, 40 years, fourth and fifth generation. That needs a big clean up as well. So taxes, I'd like to address the taxation, to reduce taxes for the Australian people, put more money into their pockets, which will create growth.
Pauline Hanson, that's a big agenda. It's amazing what you're achieving in the last year. It's incredible. Congratulations on that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me on.